Discussion and possible recommendation on ambulance purchase contract.
All right, Troy, you're up.
Okay.
Troy's the big money spender.
He's already nailed me down today already.
Yeah, so when we, purchased the ambulances, we purchased them based on not bids. We just purchased them, put our, faith in a organization that they would be fair with us. They gave us a bid for $252,000. That was in December of 22.
Last year.
Yeah. And so, then I had to go through the RFP process. I sent it out. Everybody declined bids. Nobody put a bid in besides these guys. And their bid went up about $20,000 from what it was. And it's growing every day we talk about it. So their bid went from 252 to
I'm trying to get.
277.85.
Yeah,
okay.
and that's per ambulance.
Yeah, okay, so yes, per ambulance. So it, increased about $20,000 per ambulance. And so I did ask one other company that wouldn't bid. He just said, I can't bid on it. He said, I'm not gonna go through the process. He said, I already know I'm gonna be hired. He sent me a spec and a quote, and he was about 5,000 higher. That was Lifeline. So I gave him, I was appreciative that he at least gave me something to compare to because I didn't have anything else. Braun also sent us the other parent company to these two, the person that sells both of them. And Braun was way expensive, more $50,000 more. So we last year put aside $750-some thousand for 3 ambulances. We paid down $196,000. This new ambulance is gonna come in.
We didn't set all that aside.
Well, I mean, we put it in resolution
We
to
put, yes,
use the money from where we're gonna use it.
correct.
So we put down $196,971 in January of '23. So the total amount due right now for the first ambulance is 73. It's the difference between the 270,785 and the 196,971. And then there's, and also in the process, which we haven't received a bill for yet. There's also other equipment that we purchased as part of the ambulance, the striker cot and stuff. They put it in as they're building the ambulance. They wired in, and so that's an additional about 50,000. But that'll come out of when we do our what do you call it?
Referendum.
Yeah, well, not referendum, but when we have to do
When we do our part,
Right.
but we won't do that till we will about the referendum.
Yep. So, I just had her run the numbers for me. I asked her what it would cost right now if we would want to purchase an ambulance. And, she told me it would be $37,963 more per ambulance. And we wouldn't get them until the third quarter of '26. And then she said the pricing's gonna go up about 4 to 6%, in October. And then, so we would lose about $113,000 if we waited to purchase now. So I think when we purchased, we did the right thing because we saved the city some money. With this contract, we'll get the first ambulance in December. The second 2 were supposed to come January, February. I had her push them back to March. The referendum will be February. If the referendum fails, she will make us take the ambulances.
She said,
We won't have to take the ambulances.
but we'll have one already.
We'll have one.
Will we have to take that one?
We'll have that one, yes. We'll have to resell it. And she'll help us resell it. And with the prices the way they're going up, almost $38,000 more, we won't have any problem selling that ambulance. She'll probably be able to sell them all at the same place because they'll all be the same. So that's the risk we take tonight, is purchasing the first one, having it here in December, and having to resell it if the referendum doesn't pass. I just don't see, looking at the whole process, I just don't see how we, even if the referendum fails, I don't see how we have to do something to do this ambulance. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna pay somebody.
So when are we thinking of doing this referendum?
February 20th.
Of 2024?
That's the
When
soonest we
is-
can do it.
Huh?
That's the soonest we can do it.
When's the school doing their referendum?
In November of 2024.
That'd be better.
Yeah, oh yeah, I would talk to Dan Garrett a little bit, they're still in the process of talks, so, and you had a conversation.
They authorized a company to do their marketing for them. They hired a company already to do all their surveying of the community as to what dollar amount they'll support. So they already have everything in place to do the referendum. But they're definitely gonna do one in November, so.
Do they know what the amount is yet?
Not that anyone has shared with me. The dollar amount's gonna be based off of what
What we do?
the survey does, gets back the feeling from the community as to what the dollar amount is in support. So they don't have a hard number yet.
Well, I don't like this at all. You go back to where when we first approved this, it was that till September or something, November, because if the referendum failed, then we could get our $3,000 or whatever we paid, we could get that back. Now we haven't had a referendum and now we're gonna purchase ambulances.
They're gonna purchase one.
Well,
I think that was based off the advice that there could be a November referendum, and
yeah,
there can't
yeah, we thought at the time we could.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't really think there's much risk in buying the ambulance, because, like Troy said, it's gonna be really, really easy to resell that ambulance.
We won't have to do anything. I
We
mean,
might make some money
The
on
company
it.
that we're working with is, gonna worry about, is, gonna resell the ambulance for us, so, and they're the ones with all the connections, so.
So-
The ambulances are in huge demand, obviously you can't even buy one now and get it for 3 years from now, so. To resell an ambulance, a brand new ambulance that's never been used is.
It's gold.
I mean, I think we're between a rock and a hard spot.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
This is exactly where we are. I just,
So you got a comment?
Yeah, so when we have this referendum, before the referendum and everything, can we have some kind of a plan of action to get this to go through to the community?
oh, yeah.
You know,
Yep,
like I'm
yep.
in Ward 2, you know, if I go knocking on like the people's doors,
Yeah, we're going to,
talk to them.
we'll be coming to you, on the 24th with, a proposal. We put out an RFP for a communication company. So they'll come in and they'll send out mailers to everybody in the community. They'll come out and help us. I know the firefighters are gonna come and help and do some soliciting and knocking on doors as well. We'll all have to do what we have to do. to
They'll
talk
tell
about
us
it.
what we can do, what we can't do, what we can say, what we can't say, so that we
Okay.
don't get ourselves in trouble, but come up with a unified message.
They would like to
The way
see
I look
probably the
at it is,
firefighters.
the way I look at it is if the referendum fails, it's because we don't do our job.
yeah, I don't know that I disagree with you. You know, I guess to save face to taxpayers in the event if the referendum fails, is I think that we should get something in writing from this company of what you're telling us, that in the event that our referendum fails, that we will help you sell the ambulance and let them tell us what they think that ambulance will be worth. So we can have that in writing, because it'll be a lot easier for me to defend that we approved to buy an ambulance tonight that we don't even know if we're ever gonna be able to use.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't put that on paper, but they basically, in the document that, did you have this in the packet?
Mhm.
It basically lays it all out, and that we don't have to take the second and third ambulance.
But we still have one.
Yeah, but I don't,
I agree with you, Troy.
I trust these
I don't
people.
think it's gonna be a problem. But I think we owe that to the taxpayers, that we have kind of some assurances from somebody other than us saying, we're sure we can sell it. You know, other than you, and maybe Keith, I don't think there's anybody in this room in the ambulance business.
oh no, I know, but the ambulances are already 37,000 more than the one we have, and
I think we should get
So we
some
can sell it.
some documentation.
No, I think also, I don't know if we're gonna, I don't know if she's gonna put down on a piece of paper that we're gonna sell it for you for this much money.
Right, I don't know that we can get that.
Well, I think we can get her opinion of what she thinks it's gonna be worth.
She's telling me we're gonna sell it for 30,000 more than we already spent.
And that's what I would like to have in writing.
Well, she kind of already told you when they're already worth more than 37,000 more.
Oh, I'd like to make a comment. When we started this process, we agreed upon $3,000 we give them up front, so the most we would lose is $3,000. Am I correct?
We gave them 196,000 upfront
Right,
with the chance of losing 3,000.
correct. But 3,000 was the number.
Yep.
Now, to me, this company was willing to do that, and at the time, $1,000 an ambulance wasn't a big deal. We could have lost 196. Or we'd have an ambulance we're gonna ride around the parade with, because it's a generic one, correct? These are generic ones?
Well, they're built the way we wanted them.
Well, no, built the way you want them, but they don't have all the bells and whistles in them, correct?
They don't have everything, no.
Correct.
My ambulance
That's what I thought.
150.
That's what I thought. Okay, just wanna make sure we're on the same page there. And my question is to you, it went up $20,000, correct?
37 so far.
Okay,
But our
Well-
cost went up 20,000 from the
Yep.
time
From
we
the
got
time.
the original.
And that was,
Right.
that's partly chassis situation, the chassis, we don't know the value of the we don't know what the chassis are still gonna come in as.
but it was just $20,000, and that was for all three ambulances, right? Or just for one?
One.
Just for one. Well, we had two lawnmowers that went up $10,000. Remember, we voted no on that. By the way, they still don't have them, I believe, correct?
No, they don't.
Am I right?
No, they don't.
It went up $10,000 for two lawnmowers that we still don't own, and that's been 2 years ago. Am I right, Dennis?
Correct.
So, they're lawnmowers, you know?
But as I speak, or as you speak, we need them lawnmowers.
I didn't say that. And I've told Toby very, very openly that every time I go somewhere and I go past a John Deere dealership and I see lawnmowers and I say something to Toby, well, yeah, but it wasn't what Murphy say it was a discount we got cause city thing or whatever. And I'm going, well, let's see, how does $10,000 you're adding on to the lawnmowers a discount?
Couldn't agree with you more.
So-
I mean, it's probably the only time we agreed on that. It was ridiculous, you know?
In this letter dated 7/6 of 2023, we are committed to the first unit because of the timing. But it does say the 2 units are not obligated for payment if the referendum is not approved. It's in writing from,
The 2 units.
Two.
The other
The
two.
1 unit
we are stuck with one that we would have to resell,
that we don't need. If the referendum fails.
Well, it's unfortunate.
Like Steve says, we can take it to the parades.
I don't think it would be a problem getting rid of it, only for the simple reason, if they're in demand, it ain't something like there's 10,000 of them out there and they're cutting them off the lines and they're just generic.
Let's be honest,
I
if they were worried about selling them, they would make us take those other 2.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
wouldn't build an ambulance for Portage Fire Department and go, okay, we'll take it back, if they weren't gonna sell it. They're gonna sell it.
I thought when they threw in the deal with the $3,000, that if we didn't want them, to me, that made them very reputable. Is that the word I'm looking for? Very, very reputable that they were willing to work with us. I mean, $3,000 and we could have walked away. You know, we'd have got our money back except for $3,000.
We would have had this all taken care of last April if it wasn't for Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy's the reason why we have these problems right now. I wanted to do the referendum last April. He denied me. We could do it in November. He gave me a total path, 3 pages long, of how we have to go through these steps. We'll do it in November. Can't even have a freaking referendum in November. It's against the law.
Because there's no election.
Right, because he didn't know, so now we could have had this all taken care of. We could have did this last April and been all done with this. We wouldn't be in this process. We'd already be starting an ambulance service. We wouldn't have to be paying Aspirus $500,000 a year. It's frustrating for me.
In this referendum, for a variety of reasons, can't fail, because we still don't have any money to pay aspirers.
Working on it.
So,
Yeah.
You weren't even here for all that.
No,
It's frustrating
No.
that we're stuck.
I always thought too, if we bought these ambulances, it'd been 1 year we'd have paid for Spires. You know, we're gonna have to borrow the money, we're gonna have to eat it for a while, but I figured 3, 4 years, maybe 5 years, it should catch up. I'm sure hoping for it.
we can't, sorry.
No,
We can't borrow for a service, so we'd have to take it out, we'd have to cut something out of the budget. It'd be a disaster.
We
Well, we
can,
did borrow for the service last year.
no, we have not borrowed for the
General fund.
service yet. We are using
Fund
fund
balance.
balance right now and trying to get by, because if we did borrow for this, it would have to be its own borrowing, it would have to be a 2-year, and it would be taxable, because it's a
It's
service.
coming out of our general fund balance.
So you'd not only pay interest, you'd pay tax on it too. We're trying to defer from doing that. That was the original plan, but we're doing our best right now to see if we can make this work and stay within our guidelines for fund balance.
I don't see that working, any issue. We have to have this referendum passed. I don't disagree with anybody on that. I just play devil's advocate and it doesn't. And I'm gonna tell them, well, we can sell it, and they're gonna look at me and say, hey, what the hell do you know about selling an ambulance?
You know, but the company that we're buying it from does.
Yeah,
They know there's demand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If they're out till 2026 and
There's
people
a
are
huge
waiting, somebody would be thrilled to get a phone call saying you can have 2 in 2024.
You can have 3 in 2024.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I don't, that's my whole thought process. If they got
they will eat it up.
people who are waiting until 2026 already to get ambulances, obviously there's a whole list of people between 23 and 26 are on a list waiting for them ambulances to come in.
And they do 120 a year, so
Right.
there's 360 ambulances waiting.
Right.
Well, then, like we said, it was July, a year ago, right? And we were gonna get until the end of this year, so
no, we weren't gonna get ambulances, I think, until April.
Well, we were gonna get first one in.
first one at the end of this year,
Yep, and then the next two.
next to
In
24. But what I'm
In
saying,
24.
it would have been 18 months roughly just before we got one. So, definitely so. So what's the amount on the purchase of the contract then for the ambulance service? Recommend this to council.
$270,785.
We only have to pay the 70,
It's the difference between the down payment,
because we already paid 196,
Six.
so we only gotta pay 70.
$73,814.
And that money will come from,
We are using vehicle replacement right now. And we did a reimbursement resolution that when we can borrow for these, then we will replenish vehicle replacement and have the borrowing to cover these.
Yeah.
And we do have enough time, even though we signed that resolution in the spring of this year, it has to be done within 18 months of a purchase. So we will be fine on the timeline.
Okay, what do you guys want to do, motion?
well, I guess I was elected to make our decisions. So I'll make the motion that we go ahead and purchase that ambulance for the sum of money that,
$73,814.
Do I have a second?
I have the second right here.
Okay, any more discussion? If not, call the roll.
Nachreiner,
aye.
Radant,
Aye.
Rohrbach.
Aye.
Bauer Fry. Aye. And Green.
Next, we have the ambulance purchase contract.
Alder-Person Nachreiner.
I'd like to make a motion at this time to purchase the ambulances we're gonna need, that we have to purchase. And we have left the amount of $73,814.
Alder-Person Crowley.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any other further discussion on this? Becky, you would call the roll, please.
Raleigh,
Aye.
Bauer Fry,
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Nachreiner,
Aye.
Radant,
Aye.
Shimpa.
Aye.
Wetzel.
Aye.
Yes,